Hey y'all, it's Kalisway. I'm tuning in on I Only Touch Greatness podcast. Thank you guys so much for having me. I had such a great time, and I hope y'all enjoy.
No worries. So I'm Ryan
it's
out
an
here.
honor, man.
Yeah, I'm Ryan out here in Vancouver, Canada. That's Prince Allen out in Kansas City.
It's royalty rules 816. He always calls me by my government name, but it's all right. But it's royalty royale, but everybody calls me royalty anyway. So it's royalty 816. So it's an honor. Got to tap in with you. You know what I'm saying, with the from Toronto. So I once I heard that, I was like, yo, I have to get her on the show, man. For real. You're very dope.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That's just it. I've been bumping your album all day. You see what I did there?
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah, that song stuck out when I yeah.
Right.
That's that.
I ain't gonna lie, because I've been playing a kid from Toronto and him with the funk like all week this week. Ever since we
Hey,
talked. Like
I'm glad
for
y'all
real.
love it.
Yo, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. You got the potential, for real, most indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were just discussing that before you came on the air, and on how I just listened to the album too. It's pretty awesome. We'll get into all that stuff coming up. I'm going to try to start at the beginning, and we'll work our way through.
Yeah.
So, growing up, I believe in Toronto. I couldn't find the fact, but you're in Toronto. Tell us about childhood growing up and when you first got into music.
Me, I grew up on a lot of different sounds. I grew up on Gorillaz to Missy Elliott, Pharrell. My dad introduced me to more of hip hop, so I was listening to like G Funk, Warren G, you know, Snoop Dogg, all that. Erica Badu, even some Parliament Funk. So I had different sounds. My mom really played like R&B, so that was like to soul, like even Tyrese. I mean, honestly, from that back then, like Mariah Carey, Joe, all that stuff in the house. So, you know, I was listening to that as I grew up. And I really wanted to make my own sound. I was inspired by drums specifically from like Pharrell and Timbaland when I was listening to music back then. And my first goal was really just being a good producer. So I was focusing on that mainly. It never was in my intention to really like, oh, like I want to be an artist. Like it was always my goal to do producer because I was so shy at first. So it wasn't even a process in my head to think about being a star in the light. And then as I really, really started to develop my skill and find my sound within production, I actually went into school for about a year in college at 2019 for Seneca Independent Music Production. And that really taught me a lot about just recording myself, how to get ready on stage, to set up the mic, simple things that people would think is so minuscule, but it's very important just to see that you're professional in what you're doing. So once I finished that program, I applied for Remix. I applied as an audio engineer because that was what I was doing at the time too. And they were like, yo, you did all of this. Like they didn't know that I made the track, I recorded the track, I wrote it, I produced it, I was singing on the track. And they were astonished because they're like, yo, we haven't heard a sound like this in a long time. So throughout Remix Project, which is a nonprofit organization throughout Toronto, they actually have one in Chicago too, but the one that I was a part of obviously was Toronto. And while I was in there, I just learned so much through all the programs, all the classes that they had for artist development, you know, for learning how to mix and be a producer in the studio and just learning how to like record yourself. The simple things that were very important for me as I went through my process of learning my sound. And as I had one of the last panels that they always have some stuff for panels, different influencers, business people that come to discuss about their careers and, you know, knowledge that they can spread with us. One of those panels had Worldwide Tie on it. And I was very inspired and intrigued by his knowledge and the way that he just didn't sugarcoat anything. I find that in this industry, a lot of people like to sugarcoat how the industry works and how you can get into the industry as just being successful and don't really show the hard work and the pain that can come through being in the industry at times. And I really wanted to talk more with him on that. So after the panel was done, something in me just told me to hit up one of the like it was almost like a Apple mentee at the time, and I went to her curator and I was like, yo, Alasia, yo, I really just want to build and grow and meet with people who are willing to grow as a team, and meet genuine people who are willing to do that. Alasia was very like intrigued by what I said and said, yo, the best person to talk to about that is Ty. Brought me to Ty. I said the same thing. He took my number instantly. He didn't even know I was a producer at that time either. So like that was very, 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 very important to me because I was like, wow, like he must have really connected with what I said. We started chatting. Lo and behold, he's like, yo, what do you even do? I said, I'm a producer, songwriter. He said, yo, let me hear something if you don't mind, like a rough draft or something. I sent him Cherry, which was completely undone. It was just drums and my voice. And he finally answered and he's like, yo, I want to fly you out to LA. I want to meet my team. And this is the first time I ever like flew to the States. So I never even flew out there before. And from there, my life really just started changing. Like we just became a team. He's been like my number one in terms of just being my partner, being my actual manager that I can rely on, that we have the same type of mind flow, that I really trusted him and has helped me a really really strong amount along the way, and I'm really thankful to have a team like that.
That's perfect. My next question was going to be who helped you
Right,
get into the industry. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's exactly it.
right, right. I was about to say you too. This is crazy because you were talking about class and you hit it on the nail with that. Also, what was one of your first instruments or programs that you ever start developing your sound?
Oh, it's so weird because it's not like it's something that everyone would actually use. It's Mixcraft was the very first DAW that I ever used to like create anything.
Ooh,
And I
ooh,
honestly like it's not even meant for production really. It was really for recording back then. Um,
recording. Yeah, I was about to say it's
yeah.
kind of hard to make a beat off of that.
Yeah,
I've tried
yeah.
before.
Yeah, so that's what I use at first, and then obviously I realized, man, I can't make nothing on this. So I went to FL, and ever since then, that's been my dog, my primary use. So FL Studio is my go-to.
Okay. Okay. Who are
Okay.
some of your
And so
early influence? Oh, go ahead.
what was one of your patterns? What was one of your patterns like your favorite beat that you used that just has stuck in your head? Just had anything stuck in your head? Like what type of beat? Or like what type of instrument on Fruity Loops?
Oh, I never used like a template. I never used anything that was. I always started from scratch.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. No, that's
Yeah,
why I was just asking, you know what I'm saying? Because, nine times out of 10, somebody would like to clap. You know what I'm saying? Always like to
yeah,
use the clap.
nah,
Somebody would always like to use the, you know what I mean? The hi hats, you know what I'm saying? The kicks and the snares, you know what I'm saying? Somebody
yeah,
always have that at first, you know what I'm saying, when they get
yeah,
in. So
nah.
that's
Like
why I asked you.
every time I jump in, it's always different. Sometimes it could be like usually it's always drums that I approach first because usually the drums are what catches me into a song all the time. But
Mm,
anytime I really go in, it depends on the inspiration or the creativity, how it's taking me then. So it could be keys first. Or it could be like maybe I know the kick and then all the stuff comes after, like the snare, how I want the hi-hat, but they're super different all the time.
Where did the name Cali Sway
right.
come from?
Everyone thinks it's some deep story, but really, I always wanted to go to California. My name actually starts with a K, so I was like that may just make sense. And I switched the C 10 to the K. I don't like the word swag; it sounds corny, so I turn it to sway, and I put it together. And I was like, yo, this sounds smooth. Like I had it since I was like what, like 17, and everyone kept saying it. It flew so nicely when everyone was saying. It. I'm like, yeah, this is the one. Like it just sounded
Yeah.
organic.
So who are you? Go ahead,
I was
Prince. You should.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I was about to say, since you was talking about classes and stuff, did you even try to get any talent shows or any local shows before that?
Nah, so like as I said, like I was very shy. So like I didn't really want to showcase any of my singing capabilities at that time because I was still really figuring out the confidence in myself. So it wasn't really until I turned 20 and I finally started working with my manager for about a year that I started believing, okay, like I can do this vocally. I can be an artist. I can really shine in both ways, both songwriting, producing, and singing. So I never did any like talent shows when I was younger or even following up to that.
Okay.
Okay, that's cool. Or was there any type of dream talent show that you be like, yo, I wish I could have been on?
A dream talent show? No, oh,
Yeah.
like are you talking about like actual shows on TV?
Like Apollo's, yeah, like Apollo and stuff like that.
Um, Not really. I'm not really that girl to be honest. Like I would never I wouldn't even see myself doing that because for me, doing like those shows for me, I feel like I was looking bigger than that. Like I wanted to look bigger than
Mm,
just that moment of like trying to win like an audience. Like I was thinking of the bigger
right.
scheme of things. So it was never in my mind of like doing any talent shows or anything.
So how would you
Okay.
describe your
That's
music?
cool.
I would say it's R&B and funk and soul, all of that combined. I mean, I really can't be put in a box for real. I do everything and everyone tries to catch up with it. So
Yeah, that's just it. You
I was about to say,
don't stay
I
in
was about
one
to say,
lane.
what was? Right, right. I was about to answer that too. I was about to answer if you could think of any type of style, what name, like anything, it could be like a karate style or anything of describing your music.
Say that again because you were cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't have that good
Uh,
Canadian internet.
no, no, no. It's probably my service. My service around here is pretty messed up. But
Oh, it's
I
all
I,
good.
I was talking about your style. I was about to say if you could have had a name for your style, what would it be? You know what I'm saying? It could be like a karate style or any type of style. What would you name your style in your music?
Hmm. That's a really creative question. I don't know. It sounds basic, but it's really just funky. It's funky. It's different.
Mm,
Um, it's very creative. Again, like I feel like people like to use the word experimental, but I feel like when you use experimental, it means that I'm still trying to figure things out. And I feel like I know exactly what my sound is. And it's always gonna be funky. Like no matter what I do, how I dress, how I present myself, I'm always gonna have that stamp of what I represent and what is in my inner heart of music. So yeah, definitely funky.
How did the song Superstar come about? And I mean, it's a great song.
yeah, dope
For
song.
me, that song, it was so in the moment for me. I was inspired by the fact that I just been flying a lot last year. I was flying a lot back and forth, back and forth. At the top of the year, I was gone for like 3 months from Toronto, just grinding to finish this project. And as soon as I landed, I got inspired that I'm out here living my dreams for real, just doing what it takes to, shine and put my stamp in the industry. And as soon as I was in my room, so I started having this melody, and I started having the words together, superstar. So I started singing, trying to get all the whole melody of the chorus out, a little bit of the first verse out. And I opened up FL, the drums came instantly, and I just started making a whole arrangement. Everything came to me in like 15 minutes. So the whole song, like the beat production, like 15 minutes, lyrics came in 15 minutes. The only thing that I ended up changing was when I was in the studio, I didn't have a second verse. So I ended up recording the second verse on the spot on an Instagram live. So anybody that was on that live, they literally
Mm.
saw it being recorded in person, like in the moment, I mean. And that was really special. So it was really just about the inspiration of my life, things that are changing, the things that I see for myself in the future, and how I feel currently.
So I'm gonna shoot one more, Prince, and then you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, if you're having a dream dinner party and you could invite three famous people, dead or alive, who are coming to your party.
Oh, what? Okay, I don't even need to think about that. I'd say Janet, Janet Jackson, Prince, and
Mm,
Michael
good one.
Jackson. That's all I need a table of. I just need to hear their influences. I don't even need to do a record with them. I just need the knowledge. I need
Okay.
the knowledge, the creativity. That's how I am. Like, they just put a big stamp on music in general. And even though, they like to say the king of R&B and all this stuff, man, that man was talented. Like he wasn't just R&B. Like, you know what I mean? Like that man, like all of them
Right.
so special, and there's just so many things that I could learn from them. So being around in a table like that would have been crazy.
Okay, go ahead, Prince. Okay, your Wi-Fi is horrible. I'm gonna shoot then. Tell us about the 2020 album Special K.
Tell you about it.
Yeah.
So the thing with that was so funny. So when I first came out with Cream, I was like, man, I gotta come up with something even harder after this first EP. And I started thinking about a lot of music, and a lot of people don't even know I produce. So I really wanted to prove to people about my production skill and get that level enhanced, and also show them a good time about the music and like put a stamp in the industry about who I am. Because I feel like from Cream, people were getting an idea of me, but I didn't really get a buzz. It wasn't until Special K that people were like, oh, this is different. Like this is crazy. And the whole idea around Special K came from like Bumpin'. That was the first song I ever like created for the EP, and it inspired the rest of the flow. And I wanted people to have good energy, something to listen to if they had a party, something that they could feel good with. So that was the inspiration behind that. Also showing the confidence that I've grown between just that couple of months of releasing my first EP. I wanted to show them that. And I think that was something cool that my dad like used to call me Special K when I was younger. So it just felt fitting to tie it into the EP name.
Okay, Prince, welcome back. Go ahead there, bud.
You know, it's so crazy how stuff could be, right? Internet, right?
It's all
So
good.
I was about to say because going back to your favorites, right? What some of your favorite songs from them and favorite, it's well beats too from them.
Oh, from all those threes.
Yeah,
From Michael Jackson, well, Thriller. From Janet, I
of
say
course.
the Pleasure Principle. From
Mm,
Prince, oh my God. Like I feel like I don't know. I feel like every song from Prince I love. So I don't know. I feel like
oh
every
yeah,
single song gives me a new feeling each time. Like Do It To Me, Baby. Like there's just so many
yeah.
songs. So many
Purple
songs.
Rain, yeah.
Um
Doves Cry, yeah.
yeah, I
I
mean every song is crazy, but those were like all from individually from them, those are probably my top three.
okay. And oh no, go ahead, bro.
Okay, I mean, sure. I shot a couple in a row while you were gone.
Oh,
Tell us.
well, you want me
Talk,
to? Hold on.
I got one.
Okay.
Talk about your new album,
Oh
"The
yeah, go
Kid
ahead.
from Toronto."
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so A
that's what I
Kid
was
from
about to say.
Toronto, the inspiration for that was in my city alone, I just feel like a lot of people think I'm from the States, regardless if it's in person or just on the outer side of my fan base. I think that a lot of people think that I'm a States girl, which is so funny because I was like, man, like I can't have people thinking that because I rep my city. I love my city. I've been here all my life. It's very important to me. I have a lot of memories here. I need people to know where I'm from, who I am, and the stuff that I'm doing in the city. So that was the importance of the title. Um, and then once the concept of it came about, I really wanted to step into my 80s funk bag. I feel like I showed
Hmm.
people the new sound of funk with Special K, like switching up with hip hop and R&B tied in together. Then when I came out with Hit 'em in the Funk, again, a brand new age of funk. I went into Can't Tell Me Nothing, show another hip hop bag. And I just wanted to see how people like connected with the new age of stuff. And then to bring the nostalgia back, I said, yo, let me do 80s because I feel like people don't understand where funk came from. Like funk don't
Hmm.
like you know what I mean? Where it started from. Obviously the 70s a big influence on that, but 80s funk I feel like people don't even recognize how groovy it was and the drums that came from that era, the way that the music was flowing in the clubs, the good cookout vibes that came from that type of music. And I wanted to bring that back, and I wasn't ever scared of testing that sound at all. I knew that it would make a big impression on my fans and then people just tuning into my new music because I wanted them to be able to feel that I'm maturing, that my music is growing, and that taking that year off of my last EP, Can't Tell Me Nothing, and then releasing this, I wanted them to see that it was the reason that I took a year off.
Yeah,
And I definitely proved that. I got lots of good reception from this album. For me, like again, being from Toronto is very important to me. And I wanted people to understand that there's a lot of history here. There's a lot of talents here. There's a lot of love, and stories that I've made. And I want people to understand that the music that I'm making is to represent what is here, which is also me, but so much talent already in the city. So I can put a stamp on it and make it alive again.
your
Hmm.
favorite
I
track
was about to
off
say,
the album?
speaking from there. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Your favorite track off the album? Just while we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Favorite track again, I keep saying it keep switches, but Superstar is number one, and I say like the top
Hmm.
other two is like Not That Type of Girl, you know what I mean, and then of course A Kid from Toronto.
Okay.
Hmm. Mine's. I got so many favorites on this kid from Toronto. I ain't gonna hold you from top to bottom. Like it's crazy. And just speaking of, from the Toronto scene, um, tell us a little bit. Besides, some of the names that always get brought up from Toronto, who you think, like, as some of the scene now, you know what I mean, in Toronto, that influenced you to be like, you know what? I like how they do their style, you know what I'm saying, even though they're way different. Name a couple of them if you can.
If you got them, I mean,
If you can, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I'm not even gonna hold you. I really didn't. I haven't got inspired by anyone in Toronto specifically. Um,
Okay.
I feel like my sound really, and I always give credit to that, has came from
Mm.
LA, from the LA funk,
Oh,
representing the low riding culture with the cars, the good energy, the palm trees, just the energy of that. And I wanted to bring that into Toronto because I feel like people look at Toronto and they're like, man, it's a cold weather city. It's sad. It's our dark R&B. Like that's all we do.
right.
And I really wanted to create something different. So truthfully, I have been inspired by the things that I listened to when I was younger, but I'm truthfully
Mm.
creating everything organically from my mind. Like I'm not even tying in from anyone around me, truthfully.
I totally saw the
Right.
California thing you're talking about when you had the like that music video and you had the red car and you're in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, I totally understand. I'm being from the West Coast. I love the West Coast music, so that's all
Yeah.
I do. I'm not even being from Vancouver. Everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta love the Blue Jays." Like, I don't fucking love the Blue Jays.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got my team Seattle for everything.
Exactly, exactly.
The
And I was about to say with him with the funk because I've been thinking about hitting with the funk, right? And I like a song called "The Way I Feel."
Mm-hmm.
That gave me a vibe. Like, what made you just come up with that? Him with the funk because I be thinking like I'm like she can do so much. You know what I'm saying? Not even just on the new album, but the last project that you had. It was like, yo, it gives me I can see you working with, Anderson Paak on this. Like tell us a little bit
Absolutely.
about that.
Especially with the way I feel. Again, this discussion about creativity is so crazy because my
Mm,
mind, I truly, truly am able to do anything. I can go into a room with any writer or any team and be able to write on it. That's why I took so much time to really hone in on my production because I knew that the production was going to tie everyone in into why this is so different. Why does it feel so different? Like this, no one creates like the way that I'm creating my beats. And I wanted people to understand the range of my skill. So when I did the way I feel, I wanted to feel vulnerable and I wanted people to dance. And that was
mm,
exactly what I got out of that track. And it allowed me to open up for real into other projects because again, whenever I do anything emotional or vulnerable, I don't want it to seem depressive and sad because that's not my goal. So I still try to make
right.
people dance. And you know what I mean? That's the goal every single time. And I wanted people to feel, which is why I call it the way I feel, get them to relate to it, get them to feel good. And then for the whole album on that, really, like again, tying into even a kid from Toronto, the whole goal is to get people to dance, see that I'm able
Yeah.
to produce. Still, people they ask me. Who made this track? Who produced it? I'll be like me. And I'm gonna continuously do that until people recognize my sound where they don't even have to question it because we're reaching the point that the music is spreading everywhere. And it's only a matter of time until it really truly is around the globe.
And that's good too. And then I want to go back because just the way that album sounds and the way the kid from Toronto sounds is like it sounds totally different, and that's why I love about what your music is doing. Like you could just stick to wherever you know what I'm saying the album is because you don't get very cohesive projects like that no more. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always good to see what type of mode because I can see like you're so versatile. Like I can see Doja Cat in you. I can see Jamiroquai. You know what I'm saying? That's another good dude.
I
You know what I'm
said Keisha
saying?
Cole.
I would say even more with Anderson Paak. You know what I'm saying? All them type of people, right? And still have the pop sound and Frank Ocean too. So a greatest thing about this though is like Baby Girl, right? I can hear New Edition out of this album. Like I can tell like you pretty tapped in with like New Edition sound. So tell us a little bit about the Baby Girl song.
It's so funny because like I feel like so many people have said they heard New Edition on this project alone, not even just specific songs.
Mm.
But I like to tell people all the time because it's the truth. I didn't actually listen to any New Edition for this project. I didn't get any like inspiration for them. Like this is just clearly from my mind. But what the truth is you can see the impact of other artists like that who have made an impact on the industry, and have left that nostalgia on people. And I'm glad to be able to bring that nostalgia back into a new form. So for Baby Girl, it was very fun for me. I wanted to bring back like love, playful music, that makes you feel like you're with a high school crush and you just falling in love and you just expressing your feelings. And I wanted to make music like that again. And so it just started from the drums. Then I had the keys, and I was like, man, we got to add some horns in there and just change. And it wasn't until I was in the studio recording this song and we were almost done. I was like, nah, we got to add a key change. And then I added one key
Mm.
change. And then I was like, nah, it's not enough. Add another key change. Like I literally
Mm.
happened on the spot. And it was so natural, and it happens like that sometime. And I really just wanted people to feel again the growth, the understanding of good feeling music, tie in the understanding and the relatedness of falling in love, being pure about it, being happy, open about it, having fun. And I feel like I achieved that. And it's doing really well, even in Asia right now. It's doing great in Japan, which is amazing. It's on Tokyo Hot 100 at 77 right now. So
Wow.
it's doing its thing, and I'm really happy people relate and feel close to it because that's all I want to do is bring nostalgia back in a new form.
What are
And
your
I
goals
see
for?
that's what you're
Oh,
doing. And I just see that's what you're doing because even with that sound and even not even listening to that group and getting that type of reaction means a lot of people want that, you know what I mean? Because a lot of
Exactly.
things is missing in the game. Do you feel like, and when you said about fun, you think fun is missing in the game nowadays? Because I've been thinking about that same thing.
I
yes,
think
fun's definitely missing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think again, not even just that, but just like soul, like real feeling.
Right,
I feel like
right.
people are missing that nowadays. I feel like people just trying to be the next thing, which is amazing. You want to strive for the best, but if you want to be the next thing, you also have to have passion underneath it. And I feel like a lot of that is missing. The feeling of music, the vulnerability, the actual hunger to be
Mm.
in this game. I feel like that's missing, in a lot of these artists. And I think that's just due to the fact that it's very, quote unquote, it really is easy, honestly, to blow up in this industry nowadays, which you have platforms like TikTok, Instagram. People are easily accessible like music nowadays. So it's very accessible, right? Whereas back
Right.
then, like you had to go into try to prove people that they had to listen to your music. You could put them CDs on the street, go into the record label and walk up and say, hey, but listen to my tape. Like you really had to
Right.
hustle to get these things. And so I think nowadays it's like it's just too digestible. And people ain't putting in that time that they need to.
That's for sure. It's watered down almost. It's I feel like
Yeah.
the industry's watered down by too
Yeah.
many people that had never had to go hand out CDs and push their CDs in the corner. Like when I used a mixtape DJ back in the day, and I used to have my I was standing there handing out mixtapes in a
Yeah,
costume sometimes if I had to, like a
yeah,
mascot
Yeah.
handing out, like whatever you got to do to get people's attention
Right.
to take a CD.
exactly.
And I think that was the the fun thing about it because some people had fun just doing that and enjoying going to other cities, no matter what it was. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was a club or a store or mall
Mm-hmm.
or
The
like,
old school PR.
colleges, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people used to get hip going to the colleges, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's how they got their buzz. Or even with the army, like they passed CDs to their cousins to go to the army to go, you know what I'm saying? That's how
Yeah.
everything was back then. It was fun and enjoyable. And I think that's a lot of things is missing in that. And I think nowadays, that's why a lot of people want to bring a lot of remedies back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People be thinking it's the trend. Nah, people want to actually see another good sound, a good feeling, which
Absolutely.
I think everybody wants. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Especially this year,
Basically, the industry's
shows.
missing the G Funk era. We need to get the G Funk era
Oh
back. Like,
yeah, we
Oh,
bringing we bringing
funk
every type
period,
of sound
funk
of funk
period.
yeah,
back.
Oh yeah,
for
funk
sure.
period. Because they think funk left. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, come on, man. Only thing I see is funk. Like, come
So,
on.
what are some of your goals for the rest of the year and future?
For me, honestly, it's to definitely go on tour, to go in Asia and really just touch my audience out there, to continue to grow as an artist, never lose that passion within me to strive for more, no matter how many accolades come along the way, and to honestly be able to go grow globally, tour globally, be bigger as an artist, and really touch more of my community. Be able to help out as much as I can and evolve. That's the goal at any time in my life as I keep going on and doing this.
Right. And I was about to say, coming from Toronto as a kid right now, you're trying to get into the industry. What would you tell that kid?
Hmm. I would definitely recommend them to learn about the business before being in the business, because um it's a world where a lot of people don't tell you the truth of how much work goes into this, and so you could definitely get into this being overwhelmed. You have to be consistent, you have to be determined, you have to be willing to grind. You really have to constantly look for avenues other than the inspirations around yourself, and want to improve regardless of whatever comes your will, what milestones break. Always treat it like that was just one. It's just the beginning. Chase for more. Always strive to be a better person overall. These things will always lead you to grow, and have success around you. And as long as you have that passion within your heart to be creative, and express that with other people, you can always achieve anything.
I got some
Mm.
fun questions for you here. Uh, Hobbies outside of music.
Oh, hobbies. I love to play 2K. I'm a gamer.
Okay.
What's your favorite team? I was about to say Raptors.
Absolutely. Why would I say anything else?
Oh, I feel you. I mean, sometimes you never know. Some people might not even like the Raptors. Like me, I don't like the Chiefs. So,
I
and I'm from
can't.
Kansas City, but I like the
um,
Royals though. Gotta have
what's your
one,
do you remember
one team in your city.
do you
Yeah, go
remember
ahead,
your
bro.
first CD?
My first
Mm.
CD. Oh, that actually it was Drake. Take care.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Do
okay.
you have
What
a
was your favorite song on the album?
Marvin's Room.
okay.
Okay, okay,
Do you have a
okay.
favorite comedian?
Not really, to be honest. I don't really be watching the comedy like that. I feel like
Yeah.
back then, if I was younger and like I was actually a part of the 90s era when I was a child then, but it would be Cat Williams if I was really an adult back then. But now I just feel like the game of comedians for me is not the same, so I don't really have a favorite.
I was about to
And
say
how do
your
you want?
favorite restaurant.
Favorite restaurant? Oh, that's kind of tough. Right now, I would say I love Asian food, and I love this banh mi spot out here in Toronto called Russell and Still. So that's like one of my favorites right now.
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to ask you your favorite thing outside of music and how do you unwind? Like you're basically, how do you unwind when you're not doing music?
Oh, when I'm not doing music, again, it's either gaming or reading. Reading for me is a reset thing. And I love to read books that evolve me spiritually and mentally, and try to strive me to be a better person. So definitely those.
I was
You
about
have
to
a
say,
dream
what's your
venue?
favorite book?
A
Oh,
dream venue, Scotiabank Arena out here.
oh yeah, man. Of course. What about a dream feature?
For real.
Well, okay.
All right.
Uh,
I was about to ask that too. Favorite artist and well, not favorite artist, just favorite artist. But if you could have an artist to work with, who else would it be?
Missy Elliott.
That's a good one. I can
what would
see
we
you. I can see
what
it.
would we find on your playlist right now? And that's not yours.
Tony. Yeah.
Shout out
I've
Tom.
been listening
Shout
to
out Tom.
Anniversary on lock.
Oh
Like
man. Oh
literally,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a
It's
favorite song that you've ever been a part of?
my favorite song that I've been a part of.
Yeah, it
Well,
might
I
not.
don't
It
have
might.
any like as you can see on my discography, I don't have any features, but there's been like amazing artists that I've worked with behind the scenes. And I feel like right now I'm striving to get some locked in. So I can't even say right now, but there's been like amazing things that I've worked on.
Okay.
Okay. I was about to ask you this. If what song, if you could songwrite, you know what I'm saying, just one of your favorite songs, what would it be?
If I could say that again.
Uh, If if it was a song that you would write from one of your
Mm-hmm.
favorite songs, what would it be?
Hmm. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's a
I'm stumped on that one. I really don't know. I don't know. I feel like my mind is evolving all the time, and I feel like I can't even think of that. I can't even think of that.
right.
I can't even think of that. But we got one more question in the bag. I gotta bounce.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
no, go ahead.
Personal.
I was about to ask this, right? I was about to ask this. If you could talk to your younger self, what would you
Mhm.
tell your younger self?
Mm. To not be so doubtful, to always believe in everything that you're doing, and that the star is not even the limit, it's farther than that. And anything that you do, you keep working on, and as long as you believe that you're growing, you will continue to grow, and that you can do anything that you put your mind to. And that there's a lot in store, a lot in store that I can't even imagine, a lot in store for me.